On this episode of the Malone-Mitchell podcast, I have a quick hitter for you guys with my ex-teammate, former Division I player, and now overseas player, Scotty Tyler. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and there's more coming soon. I'm sorry the video cut off, but hopefully you guys like this. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Welcome back. Got my boy Scotty Tyler. How you doing?
Good.
Played with Scotty, TP.8. Met you about 8th grade, but introduce yourself right away, even though I basically already did.
Scotty Tyler, played with Mitch for TP Elite. Going into my freshman year. Actually, I think it was my freshman year because it was my freshman year going into my sophomore year.
Yep, that's something.
And
yeah. We had one of the best teams too in the nation. Going after that, it was our junior year. Yep, we had one of the best teams in the nation, and we were playing up. Yeah, that was a good team. Let's hop right into it. What high school did you go to?
I went to Grafton High School.
Okay, Grafton out there. Where were you? Did you play? How'd that go? Let's jump right into that. How was high school? Did you play varsity right away, and how was it basketball out there?
So my first year I played half and half. Mm-hmm. At first I was playing freshman.
Oh, freshman.
And but they brought up one of the point guards on our freshman team because they needed a point guard. Mm-hmm. And then their season was trash, like it always was. Yeah. And then they tried asking me, but I was kind of petty already from not being asked in the first place. So I told them that I was just gonna play half and half with the freshman, half with the varsity.
Okay. And then how did that go? When you did do that? How was that season? How was that season for you? First
it was good. Yeah. I mean, it was an experience. I would play 2 games with the freshmen, and then after that I would
the quarters.
Yeah, and then I go suit up, and it was kind
of. Did you actually get a little run-in too? Like, were you playing?
Yeah, bro. They wanted me to play. They gave me the green light.
Oh, right.
Like, coach gave me a green light. I came into practice when we were playing, and then after a couple of days, he was like, "Okay, you got the green light to shoot."
Get those 2 halves.
Right, and he was still mad because, like I said, I could only play 2 quarters. Yeah. So actually, I'm kind of mad myself because I feel like there are some games. I feel like that was a dumb decision. Don't do that. Don't be petty. Yeah. I definitely should just. I mean, who watches freshmen? Who cares? That was a dumb decision, man.
Yeah.
It was more because I felt unique and like.
Yeah. Just young. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that was a slant. I was the best player. And I had been the best player since. So the guy that got brought up went to my grade school, went to my middle school. We grew up together. Mm-hmm. His dad's a cop in Grafton. My dad was a cop in Mech 1. Whatever. So, but it was good. But they needed a point guard, so they grabbed a point guard, and that was kind of bullshit because you should just bring up the best player. I could run point guard, and I was running point guard. Type
Scotty running the one.
Yeah. So,
how tall were you then?
Man, I was 6'1" as a freshman, or 6 foot as a freshman, and then I kind of just jumped up. I started dunking then my freshman year. Okay. 6'7" throughout high school, and then 6'8" a year into college, or 2 years into college.
So you were after college. Yeah, that's unique. Yeah. All right. How was it like? So I know that sophomore year. I know that had to be right to varsity. Then what was that like? What was it? Was it what you expected too? Playing that high school basketball? How was that? Like, was that what you expected? That varsity and stuff?
As a freshman.
Level? Yeah. As a sophomore, all that. Let's get right into it. Like, how was it sophomore year?
Sophomore year, it was good. Like, I was turning some heads.
Was it your team right there too, right away, or?
Man, we had some egos. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like we were talking before about cliques. And just I'm not with that. I feel like it just kind of it's a disclusion, and when you're playing a team sport, it's not not really the best thing to do. Whatever, we were fine. But we had some guys where I was a sophomore, they were a year older than me, and then we're friends with the guys who were a year older than them. Mm-hmm. And so, as maybe I think some other sophomores were brought up then too, I think like my friend Mitch and my friend Caleb, maybe I can't remember who was all brought up as a sophomore on the varsity team. Right. And but what I was saying is, like, I didn't have a bunch of like my friends, and even then, like I said, I was discluded. I didn't say this. I guess we were talking earlier. When I was in middle school I was beating them in sports and stuff. So these were the guys who discluded me to play lightning at recess, you know, because I was gonna beat them, and it was just dumb type shit. And so I feel like they were also kind of a little jealous of the whole thing. Maybe not jealous, but like, you know what I'm talking about. They definitely didn't vibe with me or not.
Kids being kids.
If people would make fun of me for something,
it's just kids being
kids. They would hop on the bandwagon, right? Kids being kids, and so that was just something that I had to overcome. You know, I talked about, you know, going home and feeling, and my mom saying like they're just jealous of you. They can't keep up with you in sports. They call you a try-hard and stuff, and you're a passionate person and stuff like that. So
that's just kids' way of saying stuff and stuff like that.
Right. But yeah, it was good. My junior year was good. Did you guys make any good runs in that?
Yeah,
but high school? What I was gonna say, my all the way through my junior year, we had one coach, and he wasn't good. So when I got moved up, I was mad I was being petty because I didn't feel like he was just a good coach, right? Like he did the wrong things, you know, in game situations. He should have been watching for a while to see, or even talk to some people, like, who's the best player on the freshman team? Who should I bring? Like, I just don't, in my right head, you know, in my right mind, think that he was told to pick this person instead of me. And I just don't understand how that happened or whatever. Anyways, it happened. But I just had problems with him up to my junior year. Then my senior year, the girls coach who coached my sister and took him to state runs, and he was really good. Felt bad for like us boys for so long that he moved over to the guys side, and we started clicking. We didn't have like the greatest team. We definitely
it's better.
And we started clicking at the end, and we were like not the best. We were like ranked 6 or something like that, or 6th seed or 7th seed. And we took down like the 1, the 2, you know, we were rocking. We took down Nicolay right off the bat with Tyler Miller and Eugene, and then
shout out Tyler, shout out Eugene,
and my boy Greg Pig. I don't know if you know Pig. He was
I know them. Shout out to their family. Shout out to Tiffany.
And what was I gonna say? Yeah, we made a run, good one, and I'm trying to think. Oh, Waupun, Slinger, Nicolay, not in that order. And then we lost to Slinger, or we lost to Pulaski.
Okay, that's what
with
the guy
Cody.
I know Cody.
And they just put us in a zone, and we didn't know what to do. We just didn't have a lot of talent. We had a lot of football players trying to play basketball, and I mean, Bo Benchwell was like playing for the Detroit Lions, so he was a big dude. So we had some size and stuff. That, and he, you know, he wasn't bad. Like he could push people around and did the job well. So yeah, we made a good run my senior year for sure, and a lot. I'm excited about that. I do think that I didn't do everything that I could have to win that game.
How far was that into? So how many games were you guys away from state? If you won one game away from state, and you guys lost to Pulaski.
Yeah.
Okay, and was that? You said you thought you could have.
Man, I don't know. I psyched myself out. I feel like.
How close of a game was it? Like how'd they go?
Not super close. I think they won by a good 20 points, maybe 15 or something like that, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard because I feel like I just went into that game. Maybe I didn't eat enough food to like recover, or like there's a lot of things that I feel like I didn't know about really. It's funny, when you're a high schooler, you don't think about that kind of stuff. When I got to college, I definitely started thinking about like nutrition and stuff like that, because I didn't think about nutrition at all. There's kind of a moment where I was like, dang, I feel fatigued, and then somebody started saying, you know, coaches or trainers like, hey, you know, you gotta like watch what you're putting in your body and all that stuff. And it started like clicking, and also the mental side of it too. You don't think about how mental a sport can be. When you're in high school, you think it's just all talk or yeah, like you gotta be tough, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I'm just playing my sport, whatever. But then became pressure, like, and I think that's one thing that screwed me up a little bit too, is like, you know, schools, now you're messing with people's livelihoods, like the coach. Like I think I started psyching myself out with that kind of stuff, and so I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Just
just in your own head.
In my own head, yeah.
Stuff you didn't know.
Right.
All the lesson though probably got you better though. I'm sure.
Yes,
in the long run.
for sure. I think I'm 10 times better than people that don't even go through that and don't even think about that or don't even have those problems, just because it's like I can really get down to the nitty-gritty details of it and you know, figure out how to like tailor it to my life. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's what you should. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a big thing too. Is just I just learned.
It's a good skill to have.
By doing maybe not the best things, but definitely doing something and taking action and like fixing it on the way, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good skill to have.
If it needs to be fixed, you know, sometimes you don't need to fix things and things work out, but and then you learn from that, things that don't work out. At least I tried it, but then it's like, okay, now you got to fix it or whatever. So also, I feel like there's a lot of things that I didn't do or didn't try that also made me feel worse. Like, damn, I didn't try this, or like I could have tried this, and that's
Yeah. Well, we all have those. I definitely have those that things I wish I could have did better and stuff like that, especially in those situations. But I feel like those made me better. Maybe was lessons. That's why I am who I am today. So you know, that's all something or person I'm becoming, the man I'm becoming. So that's definitely interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that one. How'd you come? Because I think there's really unique, and the reason why I do know you is because you played in the city. You were like the only white boy in the city that I saw like that. You played with TP.8, and how'd that even happen? How'd you even find TP.8? What made you come to that?
Well, first of all, not the only white boy in the city, because
no, we got some Rovers, Bo. Yeah, I played with some. I was just talking.
No, but what I was gonna say is definitely it feels that way.
Yeah, no,
for sure. Because
you with the big team.
But when I was in tournaments and stuff, and like there's other teams that just have like one white boy or something, you damn near got like a little respect. Like you be on the bench like just head down with them or something like that. We on the same page.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing you're doing over here.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny, but yeah, I mean it was different. It was a whole different speed. I hit up Jamar, or my mom hit up Jamar through email, found you guys online. Okay. I originally tried out for Wisconsin Swing. Okay. And I was busting people in that. They even moved me up to the guys a grade level, like we were playing AAU. Like I was in 8th grade, moved up, or 7th grade moved up, 6th grade moved up. You know, that kind of thing. Like we were always moved up. Yeah. You know how it was then when we got to AAU, so that was like the same thing. It just felt like you'll have to cut this out, but I can't remember what I was gonna say.
You were talking about how this is really how you came to the city, and when you were talking about who you met. So you met Jamar, and they brought you also the people who connected you. How you connected? Who connected you there?
So my mom emailed Jamar. And then, they asked me to be on the B team at the Wisconsin Swing, and I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna do all that. Next thing I said was I wanted to play with the inner city kids, just because I felt like it was a different speed. I felt like I could be more unique, right? Like you see everybody on, and the stereotypical thing is to be like black people play basketball, like black, you know what I mean? Like, and so in my head, not being a stereotype, but being like, man, I want to do that. So where's a lot of black people? Where they going? Who? You know. So I'm gonna start searching inner city. So we did, and the first people we found was TP.8, believe it or not. And my mom emailed Jamar. Jamar came and watched me play, and he said, "Come to practice will be at Mary Ryan." And I showed up, had a hurt ankle too. I even rolled my ankle, but B was like, yeah, just come with us to the next tournament. So I came and we started hooping. And then I didn't even realize our first tournament we were playing up, and then the one I did, and we came back the next time we were at practice. B was so mad because he was like, man, we killed it, blah blah. Why we need to be playing up, because they had us in the next tournament not playing up and playing on our grade level because they thought it was a mistake. He was like, no, this ain't no mistake. On the phone in the middle of practice on the block while we trying to go around shooting layups and stuff.
You should let them know shit. Y'all didn't need to play.
Yeah, so that was I don't know. AU was a great experience. Every year we were killing it. We were playing really good teams, good competition. Game was different. It was like more like they just get, B would just give you some type of play, some type of motion, but there was so much freedom. It was like taking the dog off the leash.
Like, the defense.
And I feel like a lot of people, even in college, there's so much structure and stuff, and I feel like the best coaches I've had have played the way like Coach B played. Not it's like even if you took like an AU team and put it into a college game, like the college, I get it. I get the college team would probably have a better advantage because they have all these plays, all this structure. I get that. But I feel like the best coaches I've had have taken people off the leash.
Yeah, for that freedom.
And in the right times.
Yeah, freedom and trust.
Exactly.
Trusting your players and giving them that freedom to do that thing.
And so I think that was nice about playing AU with the inner city kids. I learned that. That's that freedom.
Okay.
And so when you play to college coaches will look at that and understand that you can see the fucking freedom. Like when I went to Idaho State, my coach didn't even know I could shoot threes.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can look up on YouTube Scotty Tyler, and there's a mixtape that somebody did for me when in my like young days. When I was like, oh, it's gonna be a cool mixtape. It's me shooting all threes, the whole mixtape, catching threes.
Yeah, that's what made
so all you had to do was go on YouTube and type in my name, and that was such an insult and a slap in the face.
Yeah, you're the coach when you get there. Yeah, that's weird. That's definitely weird. Yeah.
It was, man, and like I said before, was the coach that brought me there was from Racine, and he was on the coaching staff before he even came there. So when I got there, him and I were chopping it up all the time. Him and I were cool, like talking about Wisconsin. Even like my teammates were teasing me like, that's my dad. They were saying like, oh, And then, so he knew I could play. He, the one who came watch me, he came to my high school to check on me when, in my senior year, just what's up, say what's up and stuff. Actually, I think it's for my signing. And then I got there and coach didn't know I could shoot threes. I'm like, what am I going to do? You're not going to give me any freedom then. And then we started playing a zone defense, and I just kind of knew that this wasn't a team that I was going to find freedom in. And I just feel like that's kind of the player I am. Like I can play under structure, but there's a time for freedom. And I feel like there was no room for that in that program.
And what made you choose Idaho? Since you were already talking about it, what made you choose Idaho?
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to be the man. I wanted to be that person there. I wanted to be that person that was like beating teams, teams that like Idaho State shouldn't be beating. Yeah. And so I wanted to be that. I wanted to be like, man, I can take down, I don't even know, a big school in our conference was like Weber State. And stuff. So like, but we played other big names there, like Utah University. Even like if I could have came out of there as a freshman or something with some trust from my coach, I feel like I could have done a lot more. Than the people that they had running it. Because I feel like the people that they had running it was a typical Idaho State recruit, who can do the job and just do it, and like you're gonna get your decent points and be cool with that, but. I want to beat, I'm trying to beat teams. I'm trying to, and so that was another thing too. And I went to Spain, so just not to get too far, but when I was playing in Spain my first year, my coach had, it was like structure. Overseas is like that. It's a lot of like, you got to run the plays and everything. But this, like drastically, I was way out of this league. Like I was so much better than these people here.
Competition.
They were like I would say on high school level. That's really what I would put it at. Wasn't making a lot of money, just doing this to I didn't have an agent. I just came off of working for a bar, or just at the JCC. Like I was not even working yet. And actually no, that this was before I came after working UPS.
Okay.
And they had me running center, which is fine, but I don't touch the ball that often, and not only that, the team couldn't get me the ball. Yeah. So you're having your best player not getting any touches, just sitting there, and I would have to then if I would come out of the post, it ruined our entire system. Yeah. And I can play the post, that's fine, but you got to give me the ball. And the problem was they couldn't get me the ball and that kind of stuff. So that was frustrating. Was I wanted to do stuff like that, but they with too much structure. They had no. I would even talk to him in after outside practice. He would say, "What can we do? What can we do to help you?" I'm like, "Man, give me the ball." Right? And he's like, "Okay, we'll work out." So the whole next day in practices, he's working on passing me the ball on the post.
Basic shit.
And I get that is like your first thing to think of, but that's not the reality of the problem. The reality of the problem is the team isn't good enough to get me the ball.
Picking Idaho State, was that your first school, or was that your only option, or was that the number one option? I'm sorry, or did you have any other options?
I actually originally committed to Penn State. I've told you this story before, but I was getting talked to him all the time, and then my first offer was Idaho State. I went on a visit there. It was cool. Yeah, it was my first offer. It was cool. I liked it. So I just felt like I could be the man there. It was cool. It was really community supported, so I liked that. But originally I committed to Penn State, but
what age before?
So I was a junior in high school, and the summer after my junior year, and I went to the skills camp that Penn State invited me to, and I think they were kind of like skeptical about me because a lot of times that they saw me, I was hurt. I had pulled my calf, and I was like twice the size. I just remember sitting at NY2LA like on the bench. My dad coming over thinking I'm a pussy, saying like, "Put your ankle brace on, get back in the game. There's coaches here watching you." Like he knew it was serious. He knew like the Penn State people were there, and I pulled it. It was bad, and I'm sitting here, and it's like it looks like regular. And then 20 seconds later, I'm like viewing everything else and waiting for a trainer to come. Turns out some other kid cracked his skull open on the other court by hitting his head. So their trainers are all over there helping him, and I'm sitting here like all by myself because they're like, "Oh, it's not an emergency," and my legs just like. Poof, the next time I looked at it, I'm like, "Oh man!" My dad came over to give me my ankle brace, and I'm like. And he's like, "Oh, okay."
It's not gonna work. You might not have a leg.
So I was hurt. When we went to Florida, I was hurt. I had it wrapped up. Coach B told me to stand on the other side of the court and just shoot threes. So I didn't even play defense really and stuff. And they still liked me. Still said like, "Come to the skills camp, whatever." I think I was the only person being recruited on that skills camp, so they were really like paying attention to me and stuff. They moved me up to the older kids, so I was like a junior, playing against the seniors then, and I still killed everybody. And then they put you in teams and stuff, and my team, I just felt like, because it's a bunch of other kids, just playing with you and stuff. So I was like, "Give me the ball, I'm bringing the ball up, point guard," and I just killed it. And they offered me at the end of the thing. But I think I was, in my own head, I psyched myself out about going to a big school. I just didn't want, like...
But too much pressure.
I don't know. I think that was, and that's something I'm so much better at now. After I've left college, because I feel like I wasn't able to get away from basketball long enough to get those thoughts and understand myself. So I kind of just went through college like scrambling. And that was tough, for sure.
Okay. What do you think?
What did you ask before? Just now, I can't remember. What was I talking about before that?
Me either, my brother. I can't remember either. Cause I had another question I want you to keep going on what you was just talking about, because that shit was good.
Oh, sorry.
That shit,
I'm telling you, if you cut it out real quick, I can.
It's all gonna be cut. But then, let's jump into shit since we talking. Let's just keep it going. Right. Natural conversation. What do you think was the biggest difference between playing basketball in the city, or you being around the city with Coach B and that, and then Grafton basketball? Like, what was the biggest difference?
Well, speed for sure. Freedom, like I said. Well, I had freedom for sure actually, but it was just different. Like, I had to be the best player on that team. At TP.8 I wasn't. Deontay was, and Deontay got this publicity and this, which is and I think that's what made our team good, was nobody was like, I'm the name. A couple of people maybe, but I ain't gonna say no names, but they didn't play with us not too long, like but our team, if you think of TP, like that core,
it was deep when we was good. We was deep. Nobody cared. We was out there balling. Everybody was like,
and I may be thinking about like maybe just one or two instances actually, but yeah, that was one thing was like, no, but even in practice, nothing. Like, we were all just cool with each other, all just all for basketball, just trying to win. And that was something I feel like got lost.
But we knew he was too. Like, everybody knew we were good. Like, we knew, like, I didn't
we
feel
were
like
good,
it was any
bro.
pressure. Like, we knew we were gonna come and win everything.
Oh, bro,
like, it wasn't no
that's
pressure.
so funny that you say that because
like,
we walked into every game and literally, I would walk into, like, my parents would be like, good luck, and I'd be like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna
And people be thinking it'd be sweet too. Like, they're just thinking it'd only be Big D, but no, Big Pool, Chris.
And sometimes we'd go into tournaments having 7, 8 guys, and these teams are just looking at us like, what?
Yeah.
Bro, these guys are gonna be so easy, and we're small. We're gonna lay up lines. Like, we're not like 7-foot people. You know, we had 6'8". I was the tallest. Well, I wasn't even that height at the time. You know. And some other teams had like 7-footers and like 15 people on their bench, and we would just smack them in the face. Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. So much fun. And then all of a sudden they'd be coming down the line, shaking our hands at the game, like, yeah, what grade y'all in? We'd be like, a grade lower than y'all.
Yeah,
like,
even before I was all on and went to a different team and stuff, y'all always played up even before that. But like, even them growing up, they always were playing a grade all the time. Like,
So that was a big thing, was just not being that the only person that could do something. Like, I had a team. I had people that could help. That could
pieces.
Shit, I was helping. I wasn't, the only person. Deontay, like I said, Deontay was probably the best player.
I was like, you had to do what you had to do. If not,
right. And I'll just help as much as I can. I'm crashing the boards or staying where I need to be for a 3 if he gets in trouble. All that stuff. It's just that, and that's going back to the clique stuff. That's what we were cool. We didn't have no clique. It was just we were cool, and that's what made our team good. Yeah. And when you go to colleges, like I said, this Idaho State, in my Idaho State school, we had some guys that just had this clique, and we had my roommates kind of just hung out together. We would definitely go hang out with them, but they didn't want us to, I guess. They just, I'm not gonna lie, one of my roommates was like a ladies' man, so like all the girls loved him. His name is Namdi, and like, so I think that was a part of it, was some of these guys didn't want him around. They want to hang out with the girls and like their own little party and their own little that was
it's not for you then, if that was the case then.
Right.
Yeah, you can keep going.
But I just think that hurt us as a team. We could have been much better without that. We had another guy who was kind of just did his own thing. Like, nobody ever saw him. Didn't live on campus like the rest of us had to. There was another guy who lived off campus who was on the team before that coach came in. He was like one of the only few, right? So like, they just had all these guys. It was just not just diverse like racially, not diverse like where you come from. Not, it was diverse in like, this guy's from Nigeria, this guy's from Slovakia, this guy's from Australia. We had like that team like all over the place.
I definitely know that. Yeah.
And then you'd have like 2 guys that went to the same JUCO, so they were just like buddies.
Cool.
Right?
So be cool with.
And so it was just and then I went to Milwaukee, and even Milwaukee had a little bit of that. And it was a little bit of that.
How was that time there?
Man, it was good. It was good. I definitely didn't take it as seriously as I should have.
And what was
I don't know actually necessarily that. I didn't take school seriously. I didn't want to go to school. I had no intention of school. Like, I had no interest. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And me, I'm a person that's like, it doesn't make sense to me. The NCAA doesn't really like make sense to me. So it's like, why do I have to go to school if all I'm really here for is basketball? And that was a thing I couldn't get over. Some people are just better at it than me. I'm not gonna. It's not. I get people are gonna get like, you should want to learn all this stuff, but I want to learn basketball. And unfortunately, all that stuff